The story of Outkast is an interesting one. They are Atlanta natives, and they are the subject of today's class and tomorrow's class on um, our poetry unit, I guess you could say, our music and poetry unit. We're going to be looking at the song Elevators by Outkast. Um, you have the lyrics posted on the blog. You also have the music video posted on the blog. This is off of their album ATLiens, 1996. One of their, I mean, they've had several, I should say, hit albums. I would say ATLiens is right up there with any of the other ones, as far as how much respect it kind of earned them. But what I like about ATLiens, this album, is that this was their breakthrough, really. They had been together for a couple of years at this point. But look, man, here's the truth about Big Boi and Andre 3000. Um, Andrew, Andrew, I can't remember their names. Andre 3000 and Big Boi, um, they were both students at Tri Cities High School. You may be familiar with Tri Cities High School. They're on the southeast end of Atlanta. It's a good school. I like Tri Cities because it's a performing arts school, and so it makes sense that these guys would have gone there because you're probably surrounded by teachers and other people that are able to kind of think like an artist, write like an artist, put music together. The only problem with Tri Cities High School is it's just in a really poor area of Atlanta, and they were there in the early '90s, and they kind of grew up without a lot. And knowing that about them, that's actually one of the reasons I really like doing this song, because the song isn't about elevators, going down to the Marriott Marquis and getting on the elevators and looking down and being like, we run elevators. No, it's about what the function that elevators, their purpose, I should say. Um, Starting at the bottom, now we're here, right? So they going or moving up in the world is the elevators, and that's what the song is about. They were making music; they weren't getting paid. They were playing in crappy little clubs, and or they had their high school friends from Tri Cities coming to watch them, and weren't really making any money. And then they release ATLiens, and they are all of a sudden making a little bit of money. I mean, I think it was LaFace Records. It was L.A. Reid was involved with it, and that is a big label, especially then. Um, we're talking about the early to mid '90s when rap and hip hop was really entering kind of that MTV mainstream. It wasn't like gimmicky, like yo MTV raps. That was like kind of late '80s, early '90s hip hop and rap, kind of underground almost. Whereas in mid '90s, we saw, especially this time, 1996, we saw the rise of Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, especially after he and Ice Cube both after their NWA run in the early '90s. Notorious B.I.G., Tupac Shakur, and those were all East Coast and West Coast guys. Puff Daddy, Mace, those are all East Coast and West Coast guys. And Atlanta wanted to break out into the scene, and so they had a Outcast. And so now they're moving on up. They're getting better and better, and they're gonna keep on rapping. Yes, we've come a long way. Like those Slim cigarettes from Virginia, is what he says. Like Virginia Slims, we've come a long way, a long, and we're just going to continue. Me and you, and they also write about. I like the hook because they also write about the mentality that once one person in the family or once one person in the neighborhood has made it, then you get these people that are kind of clinging on. I guess you should say it's I don't know. I won't say this is not true everywhere, but it's kind of a mentality where if somebody from the neighborhood makes it, especially if there's relatives in that neighborhood, then everybody wants to kind of get in on it too. So me and you, your mama and your cousin too, rolling down the strip on Bogues, coming up, slamming Cadillac doors. So we're driving a Cadillac, but you all know I also got you, my girlfriend, her mom, some cousins, so a bunch of people. And look, there's two of them now too. It's not just Andre 3000. It's not just Big Boy. It's the duo that is Outkast. And so the song is about becoming famous, but it's also kind of some of the and don't get me wrong, they're not interested in trading it in. They're not trying to get rid of their fame and fortune. They don't regret anything. It's just that part of I have to fix that. It's just part of the what's part of the problems that come with fame. How about that? I should put it that way. That fame can bring. So it's not a new idea, but it's just a really interesting way of doing it. I really like this song. It's a good album. You guys all have Spotify, so plug in ATLiens. And check out the album as a whole because it's good. In fact, if you're not familiar with Outkast, I think you would enjoy them because they have a lot of good albums and a lot of good songs, and they're Atlanta guys. So they're kind of, I like to think of them as, they're kind of representative of really our region of the country, and I think that that's pretty cool. When you talk about some of the big rap names from the 90s especially, how Atlanta is kind of represented in that, and I'm proud that they're from this. I'm not from Atlanta. I used to live there for a couple of years, but I'm proud that they're from this region, Metro Atlanta. So I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a good song. There's some language in it that I tried to censor it as best I could in the lyrics. I did just find a mistake that I need to address that. Did not mean to include some of that in the lyrics, but I'm going to change that. And I'm going to repost. But otherwise, and by the time you see this video, that will be changed. So if you're going to go look for it, it's changed already. So, anyway, I tried to censor the lyrics as best I could. And then, of course, the music video, it is what it is. You're just going to have to put on your big boy pants and accept the fact that some hip-hop has bad language in it. And I don't have to tell you that. You know that already. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. This is the video for today and tomorrow. Let's circle back on Friday where we will talk about Tupac and Outkast and kind of what the week has meant for us, and then kind of what looks ahead, what lurks ahead for us next week. So anyway, hope you guys are safe. Stay dry out there. Looks like we're going to get a little wet this afternoon. But otherwise, be safe, and I'll talk to you guys on Friday. All right. See you.